President Bola Tinubu has again given assurances that the federal government will ensure the rescue and safe return of the abducted schoolgirls from the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, Maga, in Kebbi State. Now, the president's message was delivered by the Vice President Kashim Shettima during a visit to Benin, Kebbi. A Rice correspondent Suleiman Nasir tells us more.
Vice President Kashim Shettima arrived in Kebbi, the capital of Kebbi State, to commiserate with the government and people of the state over the unfortunate abduction of the Maga school girls in the Okwori local government area. He was in company of the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress (APC) and other top government functionaries. On his arrival, the Vice President interacted with key stakeholders, including traditional rulers, and where he described the incident as unfortunate and commended the sacrifice and effort of Nigerian security forces. Shettima says the president's priority is the safe return of all the abducted schoolgirls.
The president is deeply troubled by this tragedy. He shares your anguish, and he has sent me to assure you that this is not a moment for politics. This grief transcends party lines, geography, and identity. This is a time for unity, for compassion, and for firm resolve in the face of evil. Your Excellency will honor and appreciate and take care of the family of the Vice Principal of the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School. He paid the ultimate price.
Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris commended President Tinubu for his contribution and support, assuring that his administration is complementing effort of the federal government.
It's a very sad day for us, because when you look at the girls, the very young girls who are in school to pursue knowledge, and unfortunately these notorious people went to that school in the night and abducted them. Our prayer is just to see these our daughters came out soon.
26 schoolgirls were abducted at the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, Maga, in the Okwori, but 2 of the abducted schoolgirls were reported to have escaped, leaving 24 girls in captivity. Suleiman Nasir, Rice News.
Well, for more on the security situation in the country, let's bring in Dr. Steve Okwori, security consultant and strategic fellow at the Nigerian Army Resource Center. Great to have you. Let's start with the news this morning that the president has postponed his trip to South Africa as well as Angola due to security concerns. In security terms, I'd like you to tell us whether this matters, does it really matter, and what significance does it hold for the country?
Yeah, thank you for having me this morning to give my perspective on the current trending issues with regards to the adoption of schoolgirls and other security challenges bedeviling Nigeria.
Right.
Yeah, I cannot come and sit here and begin to commend the president for either postponing or cancelling his trip to South Africa. You cannot leave your house when your house is on fire, right? Nigeria, as we speak, is currently on fire, whether we like it or not. The insecurity issues bedeviling Nigeria is one thing or the other. Tomorrow we don't know what will come up, right? Only this week we saw where a military brigadier general was killed, ambushed with other soldiers. Yesterday it was a church by bandits, worshippers, some killed, some adopted and all that. So the president, for me, cancelling his trip to South Africa, I don't see it as a welcome development. He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So he must be seen to be on ground to see how to address the insecurity issues. Moreover, during his campaign, he said we should not pity him, that he asked for the job. So the job is before him, so he needs to confront the job head on.
Right. Well, you're a security expert. Can you tell us what your view and your opinion is on these recent school abductions, especially the one in Kebbi State?
Now, the history about school abductions is not new to us.
This
is our 11th year when we look at Chibok, Dapchi, and some other schools. In Kebbi, this is the second time we have seen adoption of schoolgirls, right? It happened in 2021, the federal government girls' college in Yauri. You know, almost 80 girls were adopted. So we have our history when it has to do with adoptions of school children. And we have our experience and our current realities. What I expect from government and security agencies is that modalities and the framework is put in place to see how to prevent them. Enough of these messages of hope, right? Always coming to condemn the perpetrators, and when it has to do with action, we're not seeing that, right? The vice president was in Kebbi, and look at the ceremony. Men wore agbadas and they came and sat down receiving him. Meanwhile, the girls are in captivity. They're in the forest there. It's not about adoption or rescuing them. For me, it's the trauma when they are released or when they are rescued. That trauma will live in them. Where is Leah Sharibo as we speak? She's still held in captivity, right? Because she refused to renounce her religion. So a whole lot of these are happening, right? In Nigeria as we speak, in 2024 to 2025, 2.56 billion naira was paid as ransom by Nigerians, right? Nigerians are kidnapped almost on a daily basis. And these criminals attach so much value to our forest because they kidnap these children, take them to the forest, right? And that is why they keep them until negotiations are met and all that. So there's a lot that we need to do as a government, right? All hands must be on deck. The presidency, the executive, the legislature, and also the judiciary, right? Even the civilian population will also have roles to play. Okay. But there are some persons that are saddled with the responsibilities to see that insecurity does not escalate. But what are we seeing? We're not even experiencing decline. We're seeing escalation, whether we like it or not. It's the truth.
Okay, so still on the government response to all that is currently happening, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. George Akume, yesterday and this morning was quoted as saying that the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern and that genocide claim has emboldened violent and extremist groups, and that's one of the reasons why there are fresh attacks in Kebbi and Kwara State. Your response to that? That's
not true. You see, we should own up. The issues have been there, whether we like it or not. The 2025 Global Terrorism Index, Nigeria is ranked 6th as the most terrorized countries in the world, out of 163 countries. Nigeria was ranked 6th. Donald Trump did not make pronouncement before Nigeria was ranked 6th in that terrorism survey, right? Now, when you look at the rate of crime globally, country by country, out of 147 countries, Nigeria is ranked 14th. You know, so all this data, all this information have been there before Donald Trump made that pronouncement, right? So what are we saying? From 2014 to date, about 1,680 students have been adopted. Did all this happen before Donald Trump made that statement or pronouncement? Right? So why are we trying to hide behind one finger when the truth, the reality is before us? Right? I am a security consultant. I work with data. These informations are out there. I did my PhD thesis on kidnapping for ransom. I interacted with well over 50 victims that ransom were paid when they adopted them. Did Donald Trump make this statement before they were adopted? I had interaction with kidnappers as well. So these things we are seeing, or we are saying, they are confronting us. So we should not begin to hide. What was wrong with what Donald Trump said? He said he was coming to take on the jihadists that are killing Christians in Nigeria. So let us take that word, Christians, out of what Donald Trump said. Are we not being killed by these jihadist elements? Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim, you are being killed. There are some persons that don't even belong to any religion, and they're also killed as well. So if this man is saying that he wants to come and take on jihadist elements, for me, it's a welcome development, right? Because when he comes, for instance, he will come with sincerity of purpose. We're not fighting these insecurity issues with wholeheartedly, right? Because I know that certain group of persons, certain units or arms of government are profiting from it, whether we like it or not. So we need somebody that has sincerity of purpose, that has integrity to come address this issue.
Now let's talk about the military operations that are currently going on. How effective do you think they are in challenging these situations of terrorism that we're currently facing?
You see, what it has to do with the capability of the military in the African continent, Nigeria is ranked number 3. That's to show you that we have the strength, we have the capacity, but the manpower is not enough. And we need manpower. Imagine that we have less 230,000 workforce when it has to do with the military, army, air force, navy put together. What can that size do, right? So we need more manpower, right? And to see how to use sophisticated equipment. How well are we even using modern equipment in the fight against insecurity? We see in Nigeria here, our military bases are attacked between 2021 and 2022, April and August. 16 military bases were attacked here in Nigeria. Approximately 750 soldiers were killed. In August 2023, Major Oni with 32 other soldiers were killed in Niger. They are killing our soldiers. They are killing our military officers. And we need, if our military officers are killed in this manner, just look at the way the General Uba was killed. Then wherein lies the hope of civilians, citizens of this country that are not protected with either arm or an ammunition, right? So it's a pathetic thing. We have a new kid on block, the new chief of army staff and the other service chiefs. I know that they have vision. And it's just for the officers and the other ranks to see how to key into the vision. But the fact that they came on board, it doesn't automatically mean that the insecurity issues will improve.
That's right.
But they need to see how to work together with other security agencies, you know, in terms of collaboration, in terms of intelligence gathering and sharing, and they must also see how to work with the locals, because this crime happened in our local communities. How well are they synergizing with local communities to see how to help address this issue? And that's why I want to commend President Tinubu for approving the establishment of forest guards, because he knows the value criminals attached to this forest, and these forests are situated within our rural communities. So we must see them that they come on board, and they must be armed. They must be armed to be able to confront these criminals when they come to attack our people.
Okay, unfortunately, that's all we can take. But Dr. Stephen Okwori, who is the security consultant and strategic fellow, Nigerian Army Resource Center, thank you so much for being with us on Daybreak this morning.
Thank you for having me.